So I want to start with you telling me a little bit more about what you do, how you're inspiring people, and all that good stuff.
Sure. So thank you for having me, first of all. It's been a pleasure to kind of have that communication and see what we can, discuss today. I'm really excited to talk about what I'm working on right now. So essentially what it is I'm building a brand, an e-commerce brand from scratch, and I'm posting my journey daily. And the reason why I'm doing that is to inspire the entrepreneurial spirit during the pandemic. So what's unique about the idea is as I'm posting my journey, my followers are actually voting through each stage of my business. So we haven't launched yet, but from the first day, they voted on my first product. Then they voted for a label design, and they voted for our brand name, and they voted for the charity that we supported. So we've kind of created something very unique, very interactive, and we're getting closer to launch, but it's been a very fun experience for myself and for the community because everybody feels like they're involved in the success of the brand. They feel like they own a piece of it, which is what's made it fun for me.
That's definitely something that a lot of businesses don't do, at least that I've seen or my experience. So I think that that's really great that you are incorporating the community and individuals to be part of it. And of course, that really allows you to gain that really like authentic following and those supporters, which is really nice. And of course, word of mouth and all that good stuff. But my question for you there is, it's a very different approach to business, right? What would you say are sort of the advantages, but some of the challenges more so that come with doing that?
That's a great question. So I would say the advantage is that you're doing something different, right? And I think that's what resonates with people is, there's a lot of things in our face every single day when you open up, an Instagram app. So the idea that it's bringing people together during such a difficult time, that's what makes it, advantageous. That's what makes it fun. And that's what makes it kind of inspiring. You open up the news or you go on TV, you go on YouTube. There's a lot of negativity happening right now circulating in the media. So I feel like this is something that's kind of uplifting. So that's what I like about it. The challenges are, there's, like you said, there's not too many people doing what I'm doing right now. And sometimes, you kind of hit a roadblock, you hit a wall. But for example, every single day, like I have one day a week where I just go through my messages and I get a lot of people sending me DMs and messages, a lot of positivity, keep going, you're doing great. I'm really, really inspired by your story. And I kind of share it, not just to uplift myself, but to uplift others and inspire others to start from scratch, just like I am. And you'll find a lot of interesting and positive people that will help keep you going. So I would say that the challenges can be mitigated just through continuing to go along your journey. Instead of just doing things without sharing why I'm doing it, I'm putting the why behind everything. And what that's really doing is it's creating a sense of transparency amongst my followers. So they know that I'm not just in it to make money. I'm actually in it to help others. You can literally use my Instagram account to start your own journey because I'm literally going step by step. So from the beginning of when I started the account, it was idea validation. So what I did was I actually sent a survey out through Typeform to 100 bearded men. Mm-hmm. And I asked them very simple questions like, what do you like about the beard oil you're currently using? Do you use beard oil? If you were to use beard oil, or if you do, what kind of scents do you like? What size beard do you have? What are your goals? And just through that, the first 100 surveyors, when I aggregated the results from that survey, I was able to create my first product because the community literally gave me the answer to what they're looking for. And I kind of rewarded them with a bottle called the First 100 that was made just for them. And I surprised them with it. And, that's kind of, that's what makes us different, I would say. And it's a creative spin off of doing things the traditional way. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how I'm building this thing. And also to show people that, look, there's so many free tools that are available to help you start. It's overwhelming before you start because there's so many, but once you get started, once you know what your vision is, once you once you lay out the foundation of what you're trying to do, it's actually not that difficult. And my Instagram account can be used as a blueprint to help you get started with whatever idea it is. So it's not necessarily only for bearded men. It's for people that want to get started with e-commerce. I'm trying to keep it bare bones, build some traction up the right way, build a community, build a a following that's really behind our transparent cause, and then take it from there.
Do you ever find that when it comes to them, being involved in voting, that a decision is made, but it's not necessarily, let's say you have this idea, right? And you kind of know the direction you want it to take, but because you're asking for that opinion, does the opinion ever change from the one that maybe deep down you really want?
So definitely, like there's been moments where that could be challenging, but to be honest, it's all about the community. It's very easy to convince yourself that, like, no, the community is right because the power is in the people. And to be honest, like I actually feel that way when I'm building this, because when a whole group of people are supporting your cause and are as invested in it as you are, and they're showing you the way, I feel more empowered taking their vote than to take my own. And I've gone this far using their voice, using their suggestions and ideas and DMs, that there's no point in me kind of taking over and making the decisions when the answers are all right there for the taking for me. So I think that's kind of like the silver lining in this, is that I feel like the brand is also showing what a community can build together. And I've actually gone out and said this before, but I truly feel like we're the first ever e-commerce brand on Instagram that's being built through community voting.
That's incredible, and certainly very, very empowering. I'm very excited for the viewers to actually watch this video, because I think that they're going to learn a lot. And for anybody that feels a little bit discouraged about what step to take next, your page and what you're doing in your mission statement is certainly going to help them propel even further in their business, professionally, personally. And so my other question I have is, this business model that you have, how do you see it working for you long term?
We're 100% built by the community. Our brand is not built by any one person. It's built by everyone. It's almost like a crowdsourcing kind of structure, but the community has had their say in every step of the way, and I don't plan on changing that when we go live. So we haven't launched yet, but when we do, it's going to be an interactive learning, not an interactive learning experience, but an interactive purchase experience. It's going to be something where the community actually has their own say in what they're purchasing. So that's kind of as much as I can leak out at this point, because they don't even know what is coming with the website and all that. But definitely we're going to stay true to brand.
And so now that we've sort of covered, what you're doing, how you're inspiring other people, I want to know a little bit more about the product. So share with us more about that. What can we expect once it goes live? And how does it differ from others on the market?
Sure, it's a great question. So our product is 100% organic. It's vegan. And then the other thing is that we are supporting local. So the main thing when I started building this account was, how can I make a positive contribution to my community, as in, the brand I'm building, the followers that are coming onto the account. And I don't even call them followers, actually, I call them supporters. But how can I not only give back to the people that are following my page, but how can I give back to people that are not following my page? And the first thing that came to my head was supporting local. Just in Toronto alone, just during the pandemic, I'm always, up to date with what's happening. And there's a lot of brick and mortar stores that are shutting down, that, they're staples in the city. And it's really, really sad to see. And so if my little contribution from buying from a local supplier versus going on, Amazon, or going on these marketplaces where you're getting things from across the border, I would rather pay that extra dollar or extra $5 or extra $100 if it means that I'm supporting somebody that's next door that could really use the help during this time. So my suppliers are all local. My web designers, my graphic designers, any talent, content writers, any talent that I'm hiring to build this brand, they're all sourced locally. And I plan to keep it that way until I have no choice but to go outwards. But for this point, for this part of my journey, it's a huge emphasis, especially during the pandemic. So that's what makes us different. And then the second thing that makes us different is that we're about customization. So what I learned from my survey, and for anybody that's watching this is why you go out and you ask 20 people, 50 people about before you launch about the product that you envision. I learned a lot about beards and goals for beards. So what I've noticed and what I've learned in the marketplace today is that beard oil is a product that is very one size fits all. You just buy it off the shelf and all right, you just slap it on your beard and then it's supposed to look like $1 million. But really, when I did the survey, there's a huge percentage of people that have different goals when they're picking up this one size fits all product. So what if my thought process was, okay, well, what if I create a brand that caters to different goals? That way you have your own, essentially your own beard oil product that's customized to your goals and your needs.
And my other question is, it's more so a personal question. How would you say that you've evolved on I guess, both professional and a personal level since the start of your journey to now? What would you say to yourself at the beginning after everything you've learned now?
Oh, it's been night and day. Like, I feel like I've changed throughout the whole process in a good way. Because when I started, it was humble beginnings. It's not always exciting when you only have 10 people following your page that don't really know what you're doing. And sometimes you feel like you don't even know what you're doing. You have this big vision, these big dreams, these big aspirations, and then you only have 10 people following you. So building the traction, figuring out how to pivot when certain things that you envisioned are not panning out, it really brings out the fighting spirit in you. And then I've also learned to kind of, like you previously asked me, kind of take a back seat instead of being the decision maker, be a community member just like everybody else. It's not about me, it's about we. And that mentality, that community first mentality is something that I've always aspired to have, but to really put it into action has changed me in a really good way. I've said this on the account before, but my why is very, very simple. It's all I need is one person out of the amount of the number of traction we've had, the impressions that we've had on the account. All I need is one person to say, hey, I used your journey and I built my own brand off of this journey. Thank you. As soon as somebody says that to me, like, my mission is accomplished. It's not really about building the brand. It's about helping others build theirs and getting the satisfaction from that. Because, I spent a lot of money on this. I'm having fun with it, but it's a lot more rewarding when other people are enjoying it as well and using the information to help them kind of create that side hustle and during a difficult time. We all know what the pandemic has done to, people, if they're losing jobs or, their personal situation has changed, and e-commerce is a really good avenue to explore if you know what you're doing, and hopefully my account can help people achieve that.
I think it definitely will. And it sounds like, you've obviously not only invested in yourself, but you've invested in other people. And the saying does go, in so many words, that true happiness is not just what you can do for yourself, but it's what you can do with other people. And being able to live your life and feel that fulfillment in what you're doing, but also being able to have such an impact on other people, there's no better way to live, in my opinion. So everything you're doing is incredible. I applaud you. Congratulations on all your success up to this point. I'm so excited to see where your journey takes you. I've definitely learned a lot from you as well. I'm going to take some of those tips and tricks and incorporate it. And I know lots of people will as well. So, Vinny, is there anything else that you'd like to say that I haven't asked you yet?
Sure. So every week we have contests that are running, contest votes. So we haven't launched yet. There's a lot of learning left to do.
Mhm.
And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, you're probably well aware, we had International Women's Week, and we want to get the take from women as well. So I opened up a contest to ask women their take on men with beards. You know, what type of beard styles do they like? Do you like men with facial hair? Do you not? Um, just to get that female perspective, because whether men agree with it or not, you know, a female or a woman's input is very, very important when you're making purchase decisions, especially when it comes to like something to do with your appearance. So we have that contest running right now, and we're getting a lot of good results. There's going to be a giveaway for that contest, and then tune in for all the other contests we have. We're having a lot of fun. It's a lot of learning, and we're gearing up for launch. It's going to be really exciting.
And for the launch, I know you don't have a set date, but can you give us a sense of when the launch is?
Yep. So the way things are going, we're gearing up. We're buying all the supplies and the inventory. So if everything pans out the way I hope it does, I'm hoping to launch in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So it's right around the corner.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to it. I'm sure everyone else does as well. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. It was truly a very inspiring conversation, and there's no doubt that you're going to make a long-lasting, measurable impact on so many.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's been a pleasure to be on here. And yeah, stay safe and stay connected.